What's going on, everybody? Wild Time here with another World of Warcraft video. Today we're going to be looking at a video from Mantheus talking about sort of a hack, really, sort of a cheese way to get a lot of the new currency that is similar to the Artisan's Mettle in Dragonflight. So this is essentially getting professions, finding the treasures, dropping those professions, getting new professions, getting the treasures, and as you're doing that, you're getting this new currency, and you can get like 1,000 roughly, like in your first day even. So that's a little bit of a cheese, but he's going to be talking about is it worth it, what he thinks about it, and we're just going to be commenting on it as well, what I think about it as a player who has been playing for 12 years. So let's see what he has to say.
How are we doing there, boys and girls? Matt is here. Welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to talk about something that's becoming a little bit more public now that we're getting closer to the war within, and I've probably put it in the title and the thumbnail, so you probably already know. I want to talk a little bit about Artisan's Acuity and the potential shuffle that's going to happen around this once the war within launches. Now, to keep people caught up a little bit here, Artisan's Acuity is your soul-bound sort of expansion currency for crafting. We had Artisan's Mettle in Dragonflight.
Right, and so this is soulbound. This isn't going to be something that you can share, at least right now, across your warband. So it's still character specific.
And Artisan's Acuity is going to function in a very similar fashion. It doesn't have quite as many uses, but it's still a very important currency, especially as we go into Season 1 of the War Within. And of course, because of its importance, players are going to look to see how they can get as much of it as fast as possible. So, what is the Artisan's Acuity Shuffle, and why is it at the moment a little bit broken? And I wanted to get some feedback from you guys more than anything on this, of whether you think this needs changing, whether you are happy to utilize this system. In essence, just your thoughts on this.
Yeah, so let me know in the comments down below once we get into this what you think about this, because I feel like for those people that are interested, this is going to be a pretty hot topic. There's going to be people on both sides, rather.
So, to play catch up a little bit, when you gain a knowledge point, you will also at the same time gain 5 Artisan's Acuity. As you see here, we gained a knowledge point, we gained 5 extra Artisan's Acuity. Some people very quickly realise that, well, there's treasures. There's treasures out in the world again for each of your professions, and in fact, there's 8 treasures. There's 8 treasures for each profession. I've spent hours on the beta locating, finding all of these, collecting them, documenting their locations, all of that sort of good stuff.
I have not done that. So I know people that have. There's a couple good people over at the goldcapped.com website that have done that, and they'll be having some stuff coming out. But I have not had time to do that. I found them as I've played through the beta, but I'm glad there's people out there that collect all this data so I can just get it day one, put it into an add-on, and then get it like that.
Stuff of all of that info, by the way, is available in my little War Within guide. Check out my Patreon if you're interested for more there.
There you go.
This isn't a sales pitch.
Patreon.
All of these treasures you can go out and you can acquire all of these treasures, and each one is worth 3 knowledge points each. So those that are good at maths will quickly realise that that's 15 knowledge points per treasure, and this starts to add up really quite quickly in terms of how much Artisan's Acuity you can get. I did some little napkin maths. There's 11 professions as it stands at the moment. You can get 8 treasures on each. Each treasure awards you with 15 Artisan's Acuity. So the maths on that is you can potentially get 1,320 Artisan's Acuity in day 1 of the expansion. This, I think, is a little bit problematic because what this requires you to do is to pick 2 professions, fly around, pick up all of the treasures, get the Artisan's Acuity from them, and then drop those 2 professions and rinse and repeat that same process until you have gone through all 11 professions and collected all of the one-time treasures on a single character.
All right, so that sounds pretty easy, right? So this, for me, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, but this is totally doable, right? This is something that I would like to do if it sticks around. The problem is going to be, like, I've got a blacksmith who's been a blacksmith forever, and I've got old plans on there. Like my alchemist has the alchemy mount, the sandstone drake. So I wouldn't be willing to drop those. But in Mist of Pandaria, I've leveled a bunch of alts that have zero professions, and I would definitely do something like this on that character, or those characters rather.
It's a bit sweaty, it's a bit degenerate. In fairness, it is going to take a little bit of time, but this is potentially as much as 1,000 Artisan Acuity head start over other people. Over players, should I say, who are not willing to drop their professions. Disclaimer here, I am a little bit biased because I am one of the people who is really, really, really not willing to drop their professions. I've had my main professions on some of my characters for years at this point. I've collected
Right, yeah, me too. So the answer to that, if this sticks around, is you just don't do it on those characters, right?
close to 100% of all of the recipes in the game. And if
All right, that's impressive. Like during downtime, I will check my, especially the crafting, like tailoring, blacksmith, and see which ones I need, and then I'll go farm them. Some of them are pretty hard to get. It's hard to get 100% of all of them.
I was to drop those professions on those characters, I would lose all of that past progress on them.
Yeah, don't do that.
Consider it from another perspective. Imagine that if you were to do mythic raiding, to step into mythic raiding, to be competitive at mythic raiding, you had to get rid of your entire transmog collection. I'm quite sure you can see the similarity here, that, you know, there'd be a lot of people that'd be unhappy about that as a system. And that's kind of how it feels to players like me who aren't willing to drop their professions. To bring a little bit more clarity to this, let me show you a few examples of where Artisan's Acuity is actually used, and to try and give you a bit more of an understanding of how much of it you would get naturally. I can obviously tell you that you can get a bunch of it nice and quickly, but that doesn't mean much by itself. So let's take a look at where you might use Artisan's Acuity, and let's also look at how you might acquire it. One of the big places you're going to use it is your profession tools.
Right.
In the War Within, much like Dragonflight, you have a profession tool and 2 accessories. Now, crafting each of these is going to cost 300 Artisan's Acuity
Yeah,
each.
which is a lot if
Nearly,
you get it.
well, 900 Artisan's
naturally.
Acuity to craft your full set of profession accessories. That's by
Yeah, so it's a lot, but I think the thing is you know, it's not intentionally supposed to be designed to get the top level crafting stuff like at day one of the expansion, right? Or even really within the first week. So it makes sense that it's, you know, it's expensive like that.
Blizzard's design meant to take you quite a long time to do. For somebody to be able to roll in day one and have the materials to be able to buy those day one, that's a really big advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it is for people that would take the time to do it.
Let's also look at things like the Artisans Consortium Quartermaster. This is a vendor that's coming that's going to sell you a lot of things you're going to be interested for. And the currency on this is Artisan's Acuity. These research books all cost a huge amount and give you a bunch of knowledge.
Yeah.
400, 700, 800, 900 Artisan's Acuity to get 10, 20, 30 knowledge points.
Yeah, that's a lot of knowledge points. You're getting 10, 20, 30 knowledge points. That's quite a bit to get from a purchase for this stuff. So you can imagine, right? If this sticks around and you go out and you get, you know, run through all the professions, get all the treasures, and you get all those knowledge points, I'm going to say that's where it gets a little scary, because if you don't do that and somebody else does, then what is that, 60 something knowledge points? I mean, you're talking about unlocking different talent trees, having access to like the best gear, even possibly if you do this when the pre-release comes out, like when you can on the 22nd, and you have those days to do that and then get everything ready by the time everybody else comes on the 26th. I mean, you could really dominate the market like this. That's, of course, if it sticks around and if, you know, a ton of people don't do it. But that's a little scary to be able to be that far ahead that quick on your professions.
Slingshotting you 30 knowledge ahead is game changing at the beginning of an expansion.
For sure.
Not to mention, there's also recipes and plans dotted around the rest of the game that you're going to need this Artisan's Acuity to go out and purchase. It very much acts like a currency. Well, it is a currency, and there are many places initially that you are going to look to be able to use it. So yeah, I hope this is starting to paint a picture of that. you're going to need a bunch of this, and if there's a cheesy way to get a whole bunch of it initially, it feels a little bit gross. In Dragonflight, you could quite quickly get a bunch of Artisan's metal each week by just going and saying hi to an NPC. Thomas Bright, I think his name was. He would give you up to 150 a week just for free for doing basically nothing. That doesn't exist in the War Within. The main way that you're going to get your Artisan's Acuity this time is by filling work orders. Patron orders, to be more precise.
So patron orders are work orders from the game. They're PCs. They're NPCs. They're not real players. These are given to you through not even really an NPC. They just sort of show up. So the game is giving them to you to craft. They're not actually from a person requesting it.
Nice. But to show you the kind of speed in which you'll be gaining Artisan's Acuity, I thought I'd bring you to the enchanting vendor here. You don't get a huge amount of these NPC orders. And even the ones you do get, there's going to be a period of time where you're not going to be able to fill every single one anyway. And even when you can, they award you between...
Yeah, because some of them, like, you got to imagine, stuff's going to be super expensive at the beginning, like mats. So you're not going to be able to fill these all right away anyway. Well, I mean, you probably could, but you have to have some gold, right? Because some of the mats are probably going to be crazy expensive to fill just for this.
5 and 30 Artisan's Acuity each. Realistically, I haven't been able to put exact numbers to this, but you're probably going to struggle to get more than 200 Artisan's Acuity a week. It's being paced so that you are meant to be drip fed this quite slowly. And then once again, I bring back to my original point that being able to get over 1,000 of it in day one is the equivalent of like an entire month's worth of progress over and above what other players are able to get. So I think it's a bit of an issue. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. I don't want to make this video particularly long. The longer I make the videos, the more people drop out before the end. If you're still here, thank you very much. Hit the like.
I feel that. All right. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is something that you would do if it came out? Would you feel bad about doing it? Do you think it's cheesy? Do you think it's greasy and like grimy and like the scum of the earth player if you do this? The only way I see around this is that if they removed the currency from dropping when you find the treasures, right? So it's sort of funny. I don't really see how Blizzard wouldn't have like seen that this could be an issue, that people would just get multiple professions, get them and then drop them. Or, I mean, they could just give them for you have one profession, but then, no, that really wouldn't be fair if you got them, like, okay, so you can get this currency when you have your initial professions, but then if you drop, then you can't get them for your other professions. That really wouldn't be fair either. I honestly, the only way I see it is just to get rid of it altogether. You get the profession treasures, they give you the knowledge points, but they don't give you the currency. If they do that, that'll be fine. Just play along with everybody else and get it how everybody else gets it. But I'm gonna say if this is out on day one, people are gonna be doing this. I'm actually not really opposed to it. I would only hate it if other people did it and I didn't, I guess. Like if they did it and I was behind, that would suck for me. But, you know, if you're sort of ahead, then you put in the time to do that, to go around, to do all that, then you get some sort of reward for it. But I guess it doesn't seem intended, right? So it doesn't seem intended. So I don't want to cheat the game, right? If it's not intended to be there, I don't really want to cheat the game to do it. But if it sticks around, a new character, Mr. Pandaria character, or whatever would be a perfect thing to do this on. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Are you against it? Do you hate it? Do you hate people that are going to do it? Does it enrage you? Or would it be a cool way to sort of get ahead? So let me know what you think. Thanks for checking out the video. Have fun playing the game. And until next time, I'll catch you all later.